take a bite, and then I want it more. Baby, just take a bite.
Welcome back to Pop Teeth. This is episode 4. I'm Mimah, and today we're going to be talking about routines and rituals. Last week we looked at kind of delusion versus self-belief and what are some things and actions we can put into place in order to believe in ourselves. So we looked at like kind of little things that can improve your confidence, or just like non-negotiables that help keep your craft at a really good level, like training and practice. But also, I think something that's really important to talk about is how do we set ourselves up for a really successful day of achieving all of those things. I want to talk about the morning, nights, and kind of rituals that really set me up well for a day of like creation, essentially. Now, this is something that I have been trying to perfect and refine for myself for a long time. I have a very like type A brain where like checklists are really satisfying. So if I write down my to-do list and I get to check them off, that is really satisfying for me and really motivational for me to keep on top of my things. I've got like a reward happy brain. However, sometimes I found when I've done those checklists get really, really big, and as I'm trying to check them off, it becomes overwhelming. And so like the first few days go really well, and then after that it takes a while to get up the motivation to continue doing those things because the list is so long. So over time, I've kind of whittled down what are my most important things, or what are the things that I've experimented with that actually benefit my morning and get me ready. So recently, I've gone through like a really sticky, tough breakup, which I didn't see coming. And it set me on this path of kind of self-rediscovery. And it's also enabled me to slow down my pace in life. I'm not rushing to do anything. I'm not doing anything for someone else. I can just have the space and quiet to focus on myself. And after going through something that's quite painful and sad, you have to process all of those emotions. And then my belief is you have to get evolving onto the next thing in life, the next step, and connect back with yourself and what you want to do. So after processing all of those feelings, I start to put together a care plan. And after experimenting with lots of things, my mornings now look like this. My biggest rule, the hardest one to do, like you don't realize how hard it is until you've cut it out. My phone gets turned off at night and doesn't get turned on in the morning until I've completed everything that serves me first. I used to have it on this little shelf by my bed, and I'd leave it on all night, and if someone called me in the middle of the night, disturbed my sleep, I'd pick it up. Or if first thing in the morning, like my eyes are just open, it's painful to look at the screen, I would force myself to look at the screen, respond to everyone, and then start scrolling. And it is just the unhealthiest thing for your brain. I don't think our brains are meant to just get to work straight away in the morning. I think to see what everyone else is doing, you're neglecting putting yourself first. And essentially that's what I wanted to do with the morning routine. I wanted to give myself time in the morning that was only meant for me. So I could think about some stuff, and I could kind of just have some moment of quiet, have a slow morning, and make sure my body's in check, my voice is in check, everything is in check for the day. So my mornings look like this. I wake up, and from the night before, I'll have prepared about a short glass of water about this big. I'll wake up, I'll give myself some time to just like open my eyes. The first thing I do is slowly drink that glass of water. I'm hydrating myself. I'm giving myself a moment to wake up. And it also, if I drink first thing in the morning, I will continue to drink throughout the day. It's like a good habit to have in terms of if you start something in the morning, you're likely to carry on. And I want to keep drinking, especially in this hot weather. I want to keep hydrated. So I do that. Then I don't make my bed. I just get straight up, run myself a short little bath, shower, and I will have a shower, bath, whatever. I'll have a wash first thing in the morning. Now, to some people, this might sound crazy and be like, oh my God, like, don't you do that? Like, I thought everyone does that, or that's so normal for me. But for me, my old routine used to be, okay, wake up, check my phone, turn my TV on, watch like interesting things or knowledgeable things, but it's so much overstimulation for the first thing in the morning. And then if I turn my TV on in bed, I will stay in bed for a long time. Like, that keeps me in. The phone keeps me in. The TV keeps me in. I'm a creature of comfort, so I need to do something first thing in the morning that gets me out. So I just drink of water, get up, run my bath, shower, have a wash. And I think in this time, like, water is so good for like cleansing like stagnant energy. Obviously, it's really good for your hygiene, and then also it gives me time to like mentally think about things. I get to process a lot of things in the shower, and I think that's a good thing to do first thing in the morning, like think for myself rather than look at my phone or my TV and have other people tell me what I should think. After this, I have a list of things, and they can be done in any order, but this is usually how it goes. I'll put on some clothes, and then I will lay out my yoga mat, and I'll follow like a 20-minute yoga stretch in the morning. And this is just to get my body moving. I really have been focused on my posture for a long time, and it's still not in a great place. I want to be able to feel strong, to be able to sit up straight, and I want to take care of my body now so that when I'm older, I'm not prone to hurting it as much or whatever. And if I am going to sit and like make music all day, or sit and like create something or work on something or write something, I want to make sure that I'm like stretched and ready. So I do a quick 20-minute stretch, and if I'm in the mood after that, I'll do like a 10-minute meditation where I'm just breathing, thinking and calming everything down. After that, I'll do like my basic things, make my bed, make breakfast, have tea, and clean my teeth, and then I'll do a short vocal warm-up as well. So by the end of this, I have kind of like cleansed myself inside and outside. I've drank the water, I've used the water to clean, I've stretched my body, I've made sure that's all aligned, I've taken care of like just my normal personal hygiene, and then I have taken care of my voice as well. So everything just feels aligned and ready. I'm in a much better mood when I do this. I'm a much kinder, calmer person after I've done this, and I've only just done it for a few days, but I already feel a massive difference. My energy levels are crazy, and I just let myself wake up naturally. I'll have an alarm just in case I don't wake up, but the first time I did this, I woke up at like 5:30, and it felt good. And I do not like getting up that early. I'm like a 7:30 kind of girl, but because of my nighttime routine, which I'll get onto in a minute, I was prepared and set up, and I had taken care of myself in order to have the energy for the day. And like this morning, I woke up and I felt really groggy. I had to take some like heavy painkillers yesterday because I'm dealing with a wisdom tooth thing, and I felt a bit like almost hungover from that medicine. And I woke up today and I thought, I don't know if I can do the whole routine, like the stretching, and I just took it step by step, and I did it, and it made me feel better, and I didn't have to take any more medicine today to feel better, which is awesome. But yeah, just aligning myself, giving myself the time, not jumping to anyone else first thing in the morning, not jumping onto any projects first thing in the morning. Giving time to me allows my projects and my creation to become better throughout the day. And there's one more thing I do at the end of the routine. I'll look in the mirror or just be with myself, and I'll either tell myself I love you, or give myself a compliment and just be really grateful to be who I am and enjoy my body. And that just makes me so happy for the rest of the day, because I'm actually taking care of myself. And through this, I've realized how drastically a calm start can change the entire energy of the day. And I must spend like maybe an hour and a half just giving that to myself. Changes everything. Game changer. So let's talk about the thing that enables me to have such an incredible morning, even when I'm not feeling 100%. And that is my nighttime routine. And this used to be so overcomplicated. I used to have that checklist of all the different skincare stuff and kind of like all of the things I had to achieve and how much I had to read and how much I had to do this and breathe, and just doesn't work. In the evening, I've done a lot throughout the day. I just need something very, very simple to calm me down and bring my cortisol levels down. And I've read somewhere that 6 minutes of reading, minimum, can really bring your cortisol levels down, which basically is the level that creates stress. I'm no scientist. This is what I've read. Cortisol causes stress or contributes to stress. If you can bring those levels down, you're going to be a lot more peaceful and have a better night's sleep. So my evening routine is this. I turn off my phone first, and that starts the ritual. As soon as I turn off that phone, this is going to begin. This is the routine I'm going to do, and that phone's not going on. I've logged out of life for the day. So I turn off my phone, run another bath or shower, and just have a quick wash, just to also just cleanse the day off and tie that all up, have some thinking time again. And then I'll get ready for bed. I'll clean my teeth, and I will then prepare my water for the next day. So that little glass of water, that little shot of water I told you about earlier, that I will make in the evening so that it's sat there ready. I don't have to get up in the morning and go do anything. The first thing I do in the morning is just drink it. And it's that tiny little gesture, that tiny little action makes me feel confident in myself that I'm going to make decisions that is going to benefit my future. So I make that glass of water, get it all ready, and then I'll get in bed. And at the moment where there's a lot of natural light, I'll get in around maybe it depends on my day. I've got no set bedtime, no set time to wake up. I've got that alarm 7:30 a.m. just in case, because I do have to be in places. But having no alarms and no strict kind of structure around that, I just kind of feel my way into sleep. So I'm not forcing anything, and I'm not forcing myself to wake up. My body just gets enough rest, and that's that. So where it's lovely and light at the moment, I can read whilst it's still light, 'cause it's still light 9:30, 10, even 10:30, and my window kind of projects light onto my bed. So I've just been reading until it gets dark and I can't see the words anymore, and that's been really great. And then I sleep with a sleep mask on, because life changer if light really affects you. And then to round that off, just before I fall asleep, I'll just say thank you to the universe or whatever you believe in, and just say I'm really grateful to be here, and thank you for protecting me and my family and my loved ones, and thank you for this day. And it just, I don't know, it just makes me feel really good. And if I get that nighttime routine spot on, the morning one becomes so much easier. And just going back to that thing that I said of, you start to build trust with yourself that you did things to make the future better for you. And if you start with something as small as a nighttime and a morning, I call it a ritual because routine felt like I had to do it. If I call it a ritual, it's a gift to myself. And it's been one of the best gifts I've ever given to myself lately. And even though I've only been doing it a couple of days, what I've already noticed is that if I go to bed stressed or overstimulated or overwhelmed with information, then that has an impact on my art and my music, because the next day I'm groggy, I can't think, I'm thinking about all of these other things. Whereas if I get a really good night's sleep and I give myself that time in the morning, when I start to create or work, like I just went and did a whole practice for a show that I'm in, everything was so on the ball. And that's because I gave myself a really good foundation to do it. And like I said, I woke up this morning not feeling too well, feeling really tired, feeling like I couldn't achieve that morning ritual. But through it and allowing myself that space, I opened up more and was able to concentrate on what I wanted to achieve. Even this, yesterday I was really stressed out. I was trying to record this podcast episode. The mic wasn't working, had no idea why, blah, 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 blah. Had lots and lots of stuff to do, was busy. Today, after my morning routine and having a slow morning and just trusting that I can give myself the time and honouring that, I can sit here and talk a lot more eloquently and with consideration for what I'm doing, rather than just seeing this as a task I have to get done. Lastly, I just want to talk about what's helped my mental health the most at the moment. So as I said, I've gone through a brutal breakup that was just completely out of the blue in my eyes, and that just really wrecks your nervous system. You have a future in mind for what's going to happen. You kind of agree on that with someone, and then that plan doesn't work out. And I think as someone in your 20s as well, like late 20s, we're really concerned with what the next steps. I need to be with my person. I need to think about my biological clock. I need to know where I'm living, and I need to have roots, man. I need to have roots in places. And I think that's a very big concern for people my age. So when you lose something that provided you with all of that security, or what you thought that security was going to be, that can be a really big shock to the nervous system. And that shock to the nervous system can have a very big negative effect on your mental health. Luckily, I've been through experiences before which have been worse in terms of the fact that I didn't have the skills to, or the knowledge or the wisdom to understand why things were happening and how to choose healthy actions to make yourself feel better. So this time, even though it was painful and confusing, I allowed my emotions to happen, and then I started to practice to trust that this happened for a positive reason, and what can I do now to actually take power and ownership over my own life instead of just following someone else along. And it's made me really sad. Like that whole situation made me really sad and confused. But it also has been like this final push to make me decide to actually slow down with everything I'm doing, enjoy everything I'm doing, consider everything I'm doing, pause before making a decision. And having this morning and nighttime practice that gives me space to slow down and spend time with myself and think has been the best decision I've ever made for my mental health. I've only done it a few days and I already feel so much better. Events like a breakup, as a good example, can make you feel neglectful of your self-worth. It makes you question everything and every action you took to try and figure out why it broke. It's a very overstimulating thing to go through, and you kind of go through waves. You go through waves of grief of that person not being in your life anymore. You go through waves of feeling like, I'm so much better without them, and then you go through waves of, what if I'll never find anyone again? And that's all completely natural. It's completely normal. And what this morning and nighttime routine has given me is time and space to connect with myself and to level out all of those big waves of thoughts and feelings. And I just couldn't recommend it enough. I just think as an artist, musician, actor, whoever, painter, you've got to be, your art can come from many places. It can come from all of those feelings of grief, anger, resentment, love, happiness, sadness, whatever. And that's beautiful. Like, artists are people who can process things for good. But I think you need to be in a steady headspace to allow all of that to come through. When we're in a state of stress or frustration or sadness, we often push things down a lot, or things come out like very explosively, and there's a lot of chaos in that. And just giving time to calm all of that allows you to hear your inner voice a lot clearer. It enables you to think a lot clearer, and the slowing down is the best part of it for me, because I'm not a person who knows how to slow down. I'm someone who just next, get shit done. We can do all of it quick. But I don't want to rush through life like that. I want to enjoy it all, and I want to enjoy my creation, and I want to be able to create from a place that's very clear. And I know sometimes we songwrite to find that clarity, and that's helped me so far, but I'm just so excited now. So going from something that's really horrible to something that gives me a place to reconnect with my art in such a calm way is really powerful, I think. And you could apply this to any industry if you're an athlete, business person, actor, nurse, I don't know. But I think we forget, especially with our phones and the internet and comparison and everything that's going on, we forget to give time to ourselves. Speaking from experience, some of us, and I didn't know what giving time to myself looked like as a physical thing, what it meant, and it might mean lots of different things for different people. But I highly recommend closing and starting your day just with yourself. And if you're in a relationship, obviously, like you share a bed and all of that kind of thing, still try and make time for the things that calm you down. Read, make a hot tea, have a shower, take some time to yourself, even if it's 10 minutes, listen to some music, and just enjoy being with yourself and learn to love you and what makes you you. I think tools or habits that genuinely help, from my experience, is that find out write a list of everything you would love to do in the morning and evening, things that would make you feel great. Gym, drink 2 liters of water. This is what mine used to be. Go to the gym, drink 2 liters of water, yoga, get ready, 6-step skincare routine. Write it all out, get them all out, and then start with that. Try and achieve everything. If you're superhuman, you probably will. If you're kind of like a normal person, you'll probably find that that's quite overwhelming. So then from that long list, select what are the key core things that help you set yourself up for the morning and prepare you for a good night's sleep. Make them small and achieve them. And then if you feel like after a few weeks or months or a year, this routine I could add more to, I could actually go to the gym for an hour, add it in then, but start small. 1 glass of water. And the more you keep up those habits, you'll start to build confidence and trust in yourself, and you'll be able to then add bigger things in. Something that I've learned as well is that routines don't have to be perfect to work and benefit you. They just have to be intentional. Let everything on your ritual, your routine, have a purpose, have a place, serve a purpose, and stick to the basics with it. And sometimes you might miss things. Like this morning, I just really didn't want to stretch, but I gave it a go. But I think I was able to do it because I told myself there is no pressure to do this. But it was a win because it actually made me feel better. So I'd invite you to write out a long list of things you would love to have in your routine, and then circle the 6 or 7 most important and try and do it for a week. If you're in a season or a place at the moment where you feel like your life is completely all over the place, your days are kind of blending into each other and things are very overwhelming, you feel very overstimulated, like, I get you. I understand that. I've been there for a long time. Start small and keep practicing and have an intention to what you're doing. It's okay to take life one small ritual at a time. Please feel free to share any of your morning or evening habits in the comment section, things that help you to set yourself up well for the day. And in the next episode, I'm going to look at talking a bit about social media and my love-hate relationship with it, to just open up a discussion about how important that is to a young artist's life at the moment. If you like this episode, please like it, subscribe to my channel, or share it with someone who just needs a reminder to breathe today. I'll see you in the next one.